There's speculation as to whether bats roost in this clock tower, but nobody knows for sure. So this wonderful device will record the sounds emitted by the bats here, and then to a reasonable degree of accuracy, it will be able to tell us what species have been here. I'm sort of torn because I'm so fixed to the screen, and yet I feel like I'm missing out them flying above my head. It feels almost like we're intruders here, because we're seeing it at such an intimate moment. And when you see bats on the wing, they look so powerful and so sort of fearless. But when you see just how small they are, they look very vulnerable. Suddenly, there's exciting news from elsewhere. Oh, Natalie's got an enthusiast.
Got an enthusiast.
And as the technology becomes more available and more accessible, more and more people can get involved and contribute data, and it just becomes exponential. There's a large bird that was once widespread across Great Britain. A beautiful, majestic bird with a haunting call. But sadly, it became extinct in the UK around 400 years ago. But there's fantastic news. Cranes are making a comeback and are once again breeding here in the Fens. I'll never forget the first time I saw cranes. I was in my late teens visiting the Norfolk Broads, and a group flew high overhead, and it was just amazing to realise that these were actually resident birds that I was seeing in the UK. In recent years, more European cranes have continued to colonise the UK, and breeding pairs in the Fens have reached double figures. That might not sound like much, but for cranes, these are significant numbers. Cranes have very specific requirements. They like an area that's got a little bit of standing water, because that way their nests are protected from predators, and that's taken even further by having tall reeds around to disguise them. So they like to be hidden away in a spot where they're undisturbed. But it also makes them really hard for us to see as well. And this time of year, when they're looking after their young or incubating their eggs, they keep very hidden. This year, I've come to see if another Fenland pair will be just as successful. But I'm keeping a very respectful distance. Brilliant. This is a pair with young chicks. It's absolutely fantastic to be watching a breeding pair of cranes feeding their young here in this habitat near my home. Such a fantastic feeling. Grazed grassland is a really good habitat for foraging, and this is really important for feeding their young because they can catch young insects, small spiders. It's so important that habitat expansion projects take place, because if they continue to do well and increase in numbers, they need an increasing amount of habitat to support them. So they're only going to continue to be successful if they've got spaces to live, to feed and to breed.